back with Brunch, a taste of Tobago. You guys caught me. I was just looking over my notes here. Yeah, you have to be on top of your game. Yeah. And we're still continuing with agriculture now. Our agro corner is so important. We actually have to have these conversations. And World Food Day is upon us. Blue Food Festival is upon us. And so we never get to really speak about all of the preparation that has to take place. Now, my next guest is going to answer some questions that you guys may have. I know that you have many, but she's going to try to answer as many as possible. All right. And she is Kieshel Piercy. And Kieshel is going to talk about some of the events that are leading up to the actual creme de la creme, which is World Food Day. And she's also going to speak on Blue Food Festival as well. So you guys stay tuned, listen, as we go through these wonderful, wonderful, wonderful segments. The chairman of the World Food Day Committee is with me on set. Kieshel, good morning to you, and thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Good morning to
Good
you, Janelle, and
morning.
good morning to the viewers of Tobago.
Definitely. And I must say, let me just come off the topic a little bit.
Sure.
You look so wonderful.
Thank you
You
very much.
walked in and there was a buzz, there's
Mm,
this eloquence and this,
mm.
elegance. And I thank you so much.
And thank you for your compliment.
You're most
Thank you.
welcome. Most
Yes.
welcome. So the farmers market. Let's start there.
Sure.
Quite a bit to talk about. So let's start there.
All right. So this year, let me just give you a little synopsis. This year, World Food Day would have changed its perspective, or the division, let's say, would have changed the perspective about how we, showcase World Food Day. Normally, we have a 2-day grand event, and which encompasses everything. It would have encompassed the horticultural section, the farmers market section, all the food fair and everything all in one. Right?
Yeah.
No, because the perspective would have changed. We this year are focusing more on education, training, farm development, and even farmer development and product development. Right? So, for the 2-day exhibition, we have kind of focused more on the education and training part and some experiential aspects to it. So we want to give the farmers market their own day. We have given the horticultural section their own day.
Right.
So we kind of now narrow it down and focus on them separately and really focus on training and educating the public about agriculture. You understand? So the farmers market, we would have 2 this year. We would have one at the east, which is carried for this Thursday coming, the 5th. And that would be at the Roxborough Sporting Facility at the car park. And then we would have one in the west, which would be at the Food Hub on the 10th.
Okay.
Right? What you can look forward to at the Farmers Green Market is a showcase of fresh produce, local foods and snacks, baked products, agro-processing products, local wines, and so forth. Things that we try to encourage persons to develop themselves locally using our local products on the island. So in essence, that is what the farmers market is going to be like. It is going to start at 10 a.m. in the morning and it just run for the day until 6 p.m. in the evening.
But did you see a lot of interest from the public? What's the public space like?
Oh yeah, we have had quite a great interest from the public, I must say. So much that we can't choose everybody given the space that we have. It has always been like that. So by separating East and West, we are able to accommodate more persons. No one is left behind, which is part of our team.
Yes.
Water is life, water is food, leave no man behind.
I love
So
it.
we are trying not to leave anyone behind. So we have given East a day. We have given West a day so that we can encompass everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think it's so wonderful because you are trying to reach as
Yes.
many people as you can. And
Mm-hmm.
that's a wonderful, wonderful initiative to take.
Yes.
Because the reason I was asking about the public is because usually we have the 2 days,
Right.
and everything would have been um, encompassed in that period.
Correct.
And so there were persons who would not necessarily get the best out of
Yes.
the experience.
Correct.
Yeah. So
Correct.
it's so good that you guys
Take it apart a
take it
bit.
apart because you broke it into nice little
Yes.
segments.
Yes.
Everybody has a chance, everybody has, a platform, and that is what
Yes.
we need at the end of the day.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. We're really trying to leave nobody behind.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
the horticultural market is going to be on the 7th of November,
All right. 7.
right? And the reason why I think the public is aware of the pest that is plaguing Trinidad and Tobago and has been encroaching in Tobago in a wider way, the giant African snail.
Right. Yeah.
Right? So we, the division, has taken the responsibility of all thing plants, all seedlings, plants itself, would be done on that particular day. So we don't want to leave it out, but we have taken measures in that we would be treating the plants 48 hours before.
Right.
So, we would, of course, every stakeholder, we would call them into a meeting, sensitize them of the direction we are going so that we are going to do it in a safe way. And we are going to set the standard because we are the division, right? We are called to set a standard.
Definitely.
So we are going to
definitely.
show them the correct and the safe way of handling these plants and try not to encourage the spread of this pest.
Yeah.
So the 7th of November, we are going to have the horticultural show. So the whole World Food Day activity has been spread out so that we don't jumble everything in one, so that we can meet people, right? We will have a segment called, because yes, we are focusing on education, we will have a segment called the seminar series. Most of
Right.
the seminars is going to be in November. And the public can look on our division Facebook page. We will soon publish the dates. We will have some flyers and stuff where we'll soon publish the dates of these series, right? A part of the 2-day event this year that we would like to touch on is the business section. We want to launch a business center. This is where we are going to develop farmers because Tobago has a culture of farming as a hobby, right? Where it can be a business, where it can be a sustainable business for a home to alleviate poverty from homes, right? World Food Day was originally started to alleviate hunger. You understand? So now we have, different technologies and stuff has come forward. Now, if we develop farmers and show them that your farming can be a business, it can be sustainable. You develop your farmer, you educate them as to, we want to invite stakeholders like BDU, Agricola, ADB, and these places which will now show the farmer the different, well, let them know about the different loans and grants that are out there that they can get access to.
Right.
Eventually, we want to show them how to develop your business plan, develop your business itself, so that we can put a farmer on that educated kind of level, more educated and an empowered farmer, and by extension, the public.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think also you're pushing the narrative where agriculture should not just be deemed as a hobby. It
Right.
should be deemed as, look at it as
Business, correct.
Look at it as something that is fortifying the economy in
Correct.
some way, shape, or form.
Correct.
And I think the narrative was not very positive at times when it came to agriculture.
Yes, it had
Yeah.
a stigma attached to it.
Yeah,
That
there's
it's
still
a
a
poor man
stigma.
job or something. But if you get into it and you treat it as a business, you can see how sustainable financially it can get. It can send your children to school, send them
Yeah.
to university
University.
as much as it can. It's just to change the mindset of, and we need to start because we are expecting the schools to come out. So we are starting from educating the schools,
Definitely.
letting kids know from primary school, tertiary, secondary school,
Secondary.
right up to tertiary, that this is a choice that you can make that is very sustainable, very lucrative,
Mm-hmm.
because everybody has to eat. It
Definitely.
is
Yeah.
essential. It's one of our basic needs, agriculture. And if we now instill in them at this stage that, hey, if you choose this path, more than likely you can be very successful. It can, and it would build our economy.
Definitely.
Because, long
Yes.
time you grow up, when you're growing up long time, you used to say, make sure and get a government job. The government cannot sustain everybody. If we teach persons to be self-sufficient and develop themselves in a way, and it will boost our economy here, it will
Mm-hmm.
generate the revenue right here in Tobago, and
Yeah.
by extension Trinidad and Tobago, because we eventually we would have enough food, and we'll be food secure so that we can start exporting food. But it has to deal with developing, and we want to start from the kids, the public, and change the mindset of people that, hey, this can be something lucrative. You can develop yourself and you can treat it as a business.
Definitely. And I'm seeing the trend where agriculture is tied into everything. You
Yes.
see creatives very
Mm-hmm.
much a part of agriculture, using
Yes.
agricultural products in their
Right.
designs, and
Right. Yes.
so it's tied in so much now that, okay, yeah, the conversation definitely has to change now,
Yeah.
because you're seeing it for
Yes.
more than just being a hobby.
And it's good that you said that. We have this year. You are going to see some demonstration pieces in that. Long time, as I said, the stigma attached to it. Everybody think you could just go on the ground and just plant a food. Agriculture has evolved,
Very much
right?
so. Yeah.
We are going to display aquaponics this year and teach, well, actually sensitize the public
Mm-hmm.
to. So we have some stakeholders coming up and set up the aquaponics system, the hydroponic system,
Right.
aeroponic system. So these are things we are putting out there. So we really gear towards educating the public. So even if your space at home, you don't have no big set of land to plant, you can have a small aquaponic system in your back.
Mm-hmm.
You can have pot and troughs right there. You
Yeah.
understand? You could feed yourself, you could feed your auntie, your nene, your granny, you could feed your community
Mm-hmm. And just
just by
using the
have
space that you
just by
have.
utilizing the space
Yeah.
that you have. So this is part of our education platform that we'll be using at the 2-day event to show that we can, utilize whatever space that you have this year.
Mm-hmm.
So we really want to educate the public. We want to train them in certain way. And hopefully it's not just between the 2 days on the only the month of October. We're going to spread it out, and we are going to try and always, keep trying to meet the public and farmers. Kendall Farm School is the training arm of the division,
Mm-hmm.
so they would also be running a series of courses and stuff throughout the year that is geared towards educating the farmer and the
Right.
public by extension.
Right.
Just looking out at our division page at all
Mm-hmm.
the upcoming stuff is going to be published there.
Definitely. And
Yes.
it's so wonderful. You spoke about hydroponics and aquaponics.
Yes.
But in just a snippet, I mean, I know we're gonna hear about it during your wonderful seminar series and
Yes.
lectures. But in a nutshell, for those looking on, what exactly
Is
is
hydroponics.
hydroponics? Yeah.
Sure. So hydroponics is cultivating plants
Mm-hmm.
soilless. So it's
Right.
using water and fertilizer in a soilless way. So we have basically, I'm just breaking it down like a
Mm-hmm.
PVC setting that you can use, and you have this space vertically, right? You may have some horizontal space, but more or less your space is vertical,
Right.
right? So the plants is that they utilize water, right? They utilize a pump, and of course your fertilizers, because your
Mm-hmm.
plant needs food. You're not
Right.
using the soil. Your soil have all the nutrients and stuff naturally. So in the absence of soil, you utilize your water and your fertilizers,
Mm-hmm.
which would be safe.
Right.
It depends on which one you choose. It would be safe, and you grow your plants.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So that is what hydroponics means. Hydro, water.
Yeah.
So it's water instead of the soil. So it's a soilless way of planting.
That is amazing.
Oh yeah.
That is amazing. And when you said hydroponics, I remembered very briefly that my son had I think it was comprehension. It was a comprehension passage and it was speaking to hydroponics and
Right.
it was even saying, well, the produce that you get from
Mm-hmm.
hydroponics sometimes it's so much bigger
Yes.
than with the actual soil that we're
Yes.
accustomed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because sometimes with the natural soil, you don't really input much fertilizers and stuff in it. But with your hydroponics, you gotta make sure that your feeding system and your feeding regime is up to par. So the
Mm-hmm.
plants are directly fed. So they would I don't want to get too much into the science because sometimes with the soil,
Mm-hmm.
although it may have the natural fertilizer and fertility and the manure in it, it may not be available to the plants because of leaching purposes.
Right.
But with the hydroponics, it is directly fed to the plant. So your plants may, shoot up
They may be
more,
bigger.
yeah, in a certain way.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what about because I'm thinking the whole marketing aspect. So my brain is just buzzing
Mm-hmm.
with so many questions that I want to ask. But in terms of agro processing,
Right.
is the market growing? Have you seen many entrepreneurs moving towards
Right.
agro processing?
Yes, we have. And it is good that you mention it because it's
Mm-hmm.
another aspect of the 2-day presentation.
Right.
We have focused on 2 farmers this year. And it's something that we have added from this year and hopefully it goes on to the rest of years that in the future that we would choose to have this World Food Day celebration. In that we are going to always choose 2 farmers where we are going to do product development.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They are already into the agro processing sector, right? So what we are trying to do either is by labeling, developing a label, we want to try to take them from where they are at, develop their product, and make it supermarket level,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that at the end of the day, we can have our own local products at the supermarket, competing with whatever international products are coming in. So yes, we have had an increase in the agro
Agro
processing
processing.
sector. And I think people has always done agro processing, it's just that they have not brought it out on the market. So sometimes the public is not aware that, well, this one unless you're in the community and you say, Jack down the road doing some wine
Mm-hmm.
or Jimmy down the road doing some ice cream, you wouldn't really know unless it's out there. So the World Food Day is a platform to have these
Yes.
agro processors there and all these different stakeholders, so that they can showcase and then the public is aware that hey, this exists. We have this right here in Tobago. You would be surprised at the creativity and stuff of these people that are out there that doing utilizing our local produce and processing it in a way that bring value to our
Yes,
system, to the
definitely.
agricultural sector.
Definitely. And agriculture is such an integral part of any economy,
Mm-hmm.
and like we were saying before, this stigma,
Mm-hmm.
we still need to get over that hurdle there, because
Yes.
it's still there.
Yes.
The conversation is not moving as rapidly as it should, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think a way in which we can try to alleviate that is education. And that
Mm-hmm.
is why our perspective would have changed this year. Is to educate the public that, hey, it is essential. Agriculture is essential. You have to eat. We eat. Some people are fortunate to have more than 3 square meals a day. You understand where the food coming from?
Mm-hmm.
We want to cut back on the food import bill. It's a regional problem that we have. For the high
Yes.
food import bill, right? So, the very name of our division is food security.
There you go.
You
Yes.
understand? So we are trying to, sustain Tobago in a way that we can feed ourselves. And if we educate the public and change the mindset from the children, and that stage come right up. Yes, we targeting adults and stuff, but if we target the children, and change their mindset about agriculture and introduce the different technologies that are there,
Yeah.
it is going to change. It will boost our economy, and that stigma will be removed.
Yeah, but like you said, it starts with education.
It
It
does.
has to start there.
It does.
It has to start there
It
because I
does.
would go back to um some of you may remember this story. I went to a career day with my son. He was attending Scarborough Methodist Primary at the
Okay.
time, and everybody was dentist, doctor, policeman, and stuff like that. And there was one little boy who came dressed as a farmer. He had his
Right.
basket, he had his tall boots,
Wow.
he had his produce in the basket,
Mm-hmm.
and it took me back because there was one student out of the whole second year class
Right.
that came dressed as a farmer.
And I tend to wonder is because at home his parents probably farmers. I got into agriculture because my mother was a teacher, a
Right.
retired principal of Signal Hill Primary School, but she was an avid farmer. My father was an avid farmer. I know about, you're running and feeding the pigs in the morning before you go to school.
Yeah, you had
We
to
had
get up and do
pigs, we had
that.
sheep and goat, we had chicken. Grew up opposite a farm that had horse and ducks and geese. So, I was exposed to it. And I'm sure he was exposed to it. So, if we expose, and the thing is, and the schools now have farming as part of their schedule and their
Right.
program, the curriculum. So it's a way of I think we can do more as a division, and in terms of educating the public and the schools and the kids about agriculture. And I think this is a start. Just the change
Definitely.
of our perspective. It is a start.
And the division of food security, natural resources, the environment, and sustainable development. I told you guys I would get it. I told you it's such a long
Yeah, a
name, but I told
mouthful.
you I would. It's quite a mouthful. You guys are doing so much. But what I do have to commend you on is your knack for innovation. And so breaking the World Food Day up into so many little segments, so let's these wonderful segments, and just basically creating that platform, creating that opportunity, those seminars, those lectures, seeking to educate and also liberate us because we have to get out of the stigma that still exists.
Yes.
Everybody cannot be shirt and tie and office, and we need one another.
Correct.
Yeah. And
Yes.
so I love the fact that the face of agriculture is changing.
Yes.
So it's more, yeah,
Yes.
get into it. Come see me.
Correct.
Come and see what agriculture can do.
Correct.
And I love the direction that you guys are going.
Thank
So,
you very much.
We are not done with you yet. I'm coming back. I told you I love talking to you. We're going to come back. We're going to take a break, guys, and we're going to be right back with more Brunch, a Taste of Tobago. Stay tuned. And we are back with Brunch, a Taste of Tobago. Now, guys, this is our agricultural corner. It is a staple of Monday mornings. This is what you get on Brunch, a Taste of Tobago. And I'm speaking with a lovely lady. Kieshel Piercy joins us. And as chairman of the World Food Day Committee, there is so much that goes into planning and preparation and implementation of an event of this nature. So I know you guys are tired. I know that. Yeah. But what are some of the other aspects of the event that you could speak on today?
All right. I can speak about the experiential aspect.
Yes.
That's something to look forward to. this is where the public would be involved in certain things that we are focusing on. We have deboning of fish, so it's something as empowering the public. Sometimes you might go and throw your little line and you'll catch your fish. You might want to create a nice little meal. You might want a boneless meal.
Right.
So, the fisheries department is going to take the initiative of, involving the public in showing them how to debone fish, right? We have foreign making. Cassava is one of the important staple, as you said, within agriculture and Tobago. We have our cassava flour and stuff that, under the one of the products of our subsidiary arm of the division, which is TADCO.
Right.
So we have foreign making for those who interested in knowing the process and stuff. So we have that. We will have that on display, and we can't leave out the cocoa. We'll have dancing the cocoa. So it's something that we still have some fun while teaching and educating the public. You can dance the cocoa. Come and see what it used to be like, and stuff. And cocoa is very important to Trinidad and Tobago.
Definitely.
Because we have a particularly flavored cocoa that has met the international market, and it's because of our ecology. We have the cocoa beans from Trinidad, Tobago, and some parts of South America that is utilized because of its flavor, right? So, cocoa is important to us. So we would like to, reintroduce that, into our community and by extension the island of Tobago. So we have that. There is a wildlife to look forward to.
Right.
Right. The public can now see the species of wildlife that is here on the island, can interact with it, and other species that we may not be aware of, and probably safe handling and stuff. So we have the Wildlife Association will be part of the World Food Day, and they will bring the wildlife that we have here as display. It is one of the anticipated and probably the most aspect that draws the crowd, and of course the kids. Everybody wants to see the snakes and the alligator, the caimans and stuff. So yes, we have the wildlife. We have the livestock section, which is like a petting zoo. So we have that to look forward to.
Definitely.
Something that we are going to do in a big way this year is our department booth. So I had to say division now, because we would have a section that really showcases the services that are offered by the division.
Right.
We have farmers registration, right? The only produce that would be allowed to sell in the 2-day event is our district farmers. We are trying to stimulate farmers that are not registered to register and be part of the association. It will help rejuvenate, or revitalize some of the associations that we have. We have 8 districts in Tobago Farming District. So we have 8 associations. So those that are dormant, we have some that are active, some that are dormant. So when the public come, we are trying to, stimulate farmers to join.
Sensitize them.
Yes, and sensitize them. So we have that. We have the tractor pull section. So you can come and know what all the things that you may need to register or to apply for land preparation. We have the fishery section and the fishers association. So we want those fishermen that may pass through, we want to encourage them to be a part of the Fishers Association, whichever community that they are in. So, the department, we have the environment section that would be there, right? We have plant quarantine section will be on display, and plant protection, which is very important because we will be, sensitizing the public about the giant African snail, the potato weevil. These are some things that have been encroaching on the economic value of our plants and our agricultural sector. So if we now sensitize and teach the public how to safely use the chemicals and how to treat with some of these pests and diseases, it would alleviate and control and in a way manage the economic value of our agricultural sector. So these are some of the things that you are going to will be looking forward to from the division for this
Yeah.
World Food Day this year.
And you guys are doing a wonderful, wonderful job, and a blessed good morning to you. Thank you so much, Kieshel, for
Thank you
being
very
with
much for
us.
having.
Thank you for your time. Oh my gosh, quite a mouthful
Yes,
in that space of time.
yes.
So we just want to take a break at this time. Let me just give you the trivia question once again before we do that. What is another name for the national bird, the cockrecot? Yes. What is another name? And I have a feeling someone will get this. So you guys go ahead and type. We'll be right back after this with more brunch, a taste of Tobago. See you guys soon.